Hey drivers, are you looking for a new job or are you looking just to become a new lease driver? Well, NCI offers new Kenworth T680 double bunk condos with APU and refrigerator, all standard in all of their equipment. Come aboard and become a lease operator, or you can become a company driver. NCI offers regional positions, over-the-road positions, team positions, and also NCI will take on a few students if you've graduated from a trucking school. Pick up the phone, check out NCI, and see if they have what you're looking for at 888-311-7076. That's 888-311-7076.
Marvin Keller Trucking is currently looking for drivers to expand their fleet. We have solo, team, lease purchase, owner-operators, and even part-time local positions available.
Their solo drivers get up to 54 cents a mile. Teams get up to 58 cents a mile. Late model Cascadias and Mack Anthems available. Your health benefits start on day one.
That's nice.
No touch freight and 60% drop and hook.
Nice.
Want something different? Join the Elite Fleet. 4 days on and 4 days off. Hourly pay of $20 to $25 an hour. Want to start your own business? Check out the Lease Purchase Program. With payments as low as $345, you can pay the truck off and start hiring your own drivers.
Want more details? Call 888-418-5161.
Marvin Keller Trucking. Hey drivers, have you thought about becoming your own company? Have you thought you'd like to get your own authority and DOT number, but you just don't know how to go about doing it? Well, call J.J. Keller and Associates. They can help you get the proper registration and credentials that you need to operate legally. They protect drivers from penalties and out-of-service orders as a result of not having the proper authority. They save drivers time by filing their paperwork and ensuring everything is correct. Drivers, they also help you with unified carrier registration, US DOT and MC numbers, MCS 150 updates, year-around authority monitoring, and plenty more. Drivers, if you're looking to become your own company and you want your own authority number and DOT number today, call J.J. Keller and Associates at 888-601-2017. That's 888-601-2017 and tell them Talk CDL sent you. Thank you. All right, so what's going on in trucking world these days, Ruth Ann? We kind of ventured into the studio with no agenda today. Anything you hearing? Anything at all? Anything interesting? I mean, be honest with you. I know I didn't let you talk yet. If I'm being honest, it's all you hear about is the protesting and the rioting. I mean, that's like all you hear about. I'm sick and tired of it. I think it was over the weekend. A protester was killed in Canada. Different type of protesting. You know how some protesters will stay at like what you call the slaughterhouses. Mm-hmm. As far as these slaughterhouses go, this particular one was a truckload of pigs, and it was a female protester, and somehow she walked out in front of the tractor trailer. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody, a lot of people are pretty cruel on those blogs, like on Facebook.
Yeah,
but I mean, stop 80,000 pounds, all that stuff. Go ahead.
Well, that's only I was just gonna say, how silly can you be just to walk out in front of a truck? I don't care how heartfelt you are towards the freight that they're carrying or what your beliefs are. But do you think that you're smarter than that tractor, that mechanical thing? Even if the driver tried to stop fast enough, it will not stop fast enough to save that person's life. So what did they accomplish? Absolutely nothing. But go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, you're fine. Yeah, they become a martyr. But if you really think about it, like, I don't want to make fun of people, but the protesters were sitting there going, this was after they had the woman's body covered right there in the intersection. They had another cattle truck, livestock truck, what do you want to call it, backed up to that one in the middle of the intersection. They were going to unload the pigs into that truck. And they're mourning for this girl, and then they go into this big speech of animals have rights too. Pigs are, they didn't say pigs are people, but pigs have feelings. And pigs, I know. Again, I hate to make fun of people, but they're literally sitting there saying the pigs have feelings, and all we were trying to do was show the animals love, impose our love on them, and really love on them and give them water as they're going in. That's our goal here. And there's a lady on the street dead with a sheet pulled over, and now they're more worried about the pigs, which I had ham today for lunch.
I love me some bacon.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the most ridiculous. I just can't, and I'm not trying, again, well, maybe I am making fun of them. You can't reason with certain people. When you start thinking, do you remember what my theory was? Like for PETA people that are like so against killing animals for food. And so, do you remember what my fix was? You don't remember what the fix was? Don't you remember if we had like surgeons take off like...
No, I remember what you're saying, but I need them to hear your theory.
Oh, well, I mean, and they probably, I guarantee our audience will actually think that this is a good idea.
No.
No, they will like it. If we want to be kind to our friends on the PETA side, if we could have surgeons just remove a leg or two from the cows and even give them like little wheels so they can, even like a little banner that says, I gave for my country, right? So the cow would be like, I gave a leg. Another cow could have a sign on it that says, I gave 2 legs. And he had have little wheels, surgically put on him so that he could still get around the rest of his life. But he fed people. He didn't have to die. All he did was gave up a leg so that I can eat a steak.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
It's
I'm trying to figure out a happy medium with the PETA people.
You know those billboards that Chick-fil-A put up and it says, eat more beef?
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to compromise. We get to eat and the animal gets to live because they have feelings. Pigs are people. It's just crazy, stupid stuff.
Well, how do they come up with saying that a pig can actually feel? I mean, of course you can feel the hurt, but have feelings to where it knows it's going to get slaughtered.
I know when you stick it on an electric floor and hit the switch, it does make a noise like this.
Oh, that hurt the ears.
It's kind of like...
That really hurt the ears.
Well, it kind of does sound like it's feeling it. But again...
Anything would feel that.
If you go back to my theory, grow the animals, give them prosthetics or a wheel, honor them with a little sign that says, I gave for my country, I fed Americans, and I live to tell about it. I'm just saying. But no, this is kind of getting a little bit ridiculous.
All right, let's talk about something else.
Okay, well, the reason I went into this dumb story is because I'm sick and tired of the protesting thing. That's all everybody's talking about. I'm up to my, and here I am talking about it.
I know.
I'm up to my ears. If I was a trucker and I was headed to a city where they were protesting, all I would do is I would just turn around. I would not want to run one over. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm turning around with my tail between my legs, and I'm going to go sell the freight. I'm going to go deliver. I'm going to go find somebody that wants the freight. I'm going to tell my company, let's find another buyer for the damn freight because it's not going there. In fact, if you would starve out those cities that are letting the protesters take over, because if you think about this for just one second, entertain me for 1 second, all right? No, I didn't mean to entertain me that way. Such a goof.
I was trying to do the WB frog.
Find a pole, baby. But anyways, no, but seriously, if you think about this, if you were living in a city where there was rioting, Are you going to want to go and eat at those restaurants? Hell no, you're afraid for your life.
Yeah, you're not going to want to go anywhere.
All I'm saying is they're ruining their own cities.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just stop the source going in, again, you'll starve them out. Once the food source is cut off, there ain't much left. But anyways, let's move on to something else. What do you got? Do you got something in trucking? Hey, you know who I seen got out of prison the other day? What's his name? Pill Sticker or something like that? Look him up. Look up that guy. While we're doing this, his name is, I can't remember his first name. Pill Sticker. I think that's what his name is. Pilsticker.
Oh.
He was the clown that was the CEO, and I say clown, I mean it. He was the CEO over Arrow Trucking. He got X amount of years. I think he got 15 years, and he ended up doing like 4 or something like that. So they got him out, and I was reading. Again, this is like a lot of this news is all covered up because of the coronavirus and the protesting, but you know, trucking goes on. So here's this Pill Sticker. What's his name? Anthony? Is it Anthony?
You said for Arrow, right?
Yeah.
Doug.
Oh, Doug. That's it. Is it Pill Sticker or Pile Sticker or something like that? So this guy, how many trucks did Arrow have? Does it say? Yeah. Are you? Yeah.
No,
right.
I'm actually trying to get 2. I just keep getting these weird.
Just look up Arrow Trucking CEO released from prison. Look that up.
Well, that's what I thought I was going to.
Doug Pill Sticker. Anyway, so what I read the other day was he got released and then he was now put on house arrest till like May of 21. Oh, so he literally ruined a trucking company, and you can read what he was doing, but he hurt the lives of so many truckers, left them stranded, unpaid, and then he went and did 4 years in prison. And because of the coronavirus, here we go again, Corona. Because of the coronavirus, they let him out early. I'm pretty sure that was the reasoning. So now, I'm sure he's listening to this. Absolutely no doubt in my mind he's listening to this podcast. And I wonder, my question is, can this guy work in trucking again?
Well, you know, it's really weird.
What's that?
Did they have a few of them, or was it... Because when I pull it up, it says the Arrow Trucking chairman killed in plane crash. And this was...
I think that was his dad.
Okay, because that was in June.
I think it was somebody in relation or whatever. But just look up Doug Pill Sticker, released from prison. Did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
What does it say?
He's got confinement.
He's on house arrest now for like another year or
it says
10 months.
The judge has refused to shorten a request. The prison sentence for the former Tulsa trucking executive who pled guilty to conspiracy.
I know. I think that's an older report, though, that you're reading.
That just showed me May 20th
Here.
of 20.
This was, just during all this corona stuff, a lot of these stories kind of just passed by because everybody's worried about wearing a mask and getting a disease. They're worried about going into a city where there's rioting, all because you're trying to make a living driving a track trailer. So here it is. Former Arrow Trucking CEO released from prison to go on home confinement.
Right.
Is that the
remainder of his sentence? Yeah. After more than 4 years in prison, the former CEO of Arrow is being allowed to serve the remainder of his sentence in home confinement. James Doug Pile Sticker has been released from federal prison due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It says
there it is. So let's go to that for a second. So Pile Sticker, he gets released. He affected thousands of people. Even if you've affected I forget how many trucks Arrow had. It was like 1,000 or 2,000 trucks. They were pretty big. So even let's say it's 1,000 trucks. How many people do you affect? If everybody had at least 3 people in their family, there's 3,000 people you affected. You literally hurt thousands of people, and all you get is a couple year prison sentence. And then because of a flu-like virus that's going around, they release you. Why? Because you had money? That doesn't even make sense. I'm serious.
He was originally supposed to have 7.5 years, but he defrauded the transportation bank, Alliance Bank, out of nearly $11 million.
$11 million.
I know. I was trying to do my
the Austin Powers.
$11 million in an invoice inflating scheme. The resulting collapse of the company just 3 days before Christmas in 2009 left hundreds of drivers stranded with no working fuel cards, no paychecks, and no way to get home.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Arrow had over 1,000 trucks. I know that for sure. Whoever wrote that up doesn't understand what they're doing. But let me just say this. You affect everything from people's lives, people's money, people's living. You probably put people behind on their bills. You probably made it to where people ended up getting evicted. You probably made it to where there's so many disappointments and letdowns in everyone's family. And you affect the economy. It's just so much that you've affected, and then you get a 7.5-year sentence. I mean, I'm just saying, it seems a little light to me. You know, unless you're what? Doug Pilesticker? I mean, honestly, that's a pretty light freaking sentence to me.
Yeah, he's supposed to make restitution totaling $22 million.
Yeah, well, wouldn't doubt it if he had that in his mattress.
Definitely in assets.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what else do we got in trucking, Ruthann? Do we have anything else going on in trucking? While you're looking some things up, what's the word of the day? What's that word?
Beanery.
Beanery. It's funny. You told me about that word earlier, and I like that because of the definition of it. Mm-hmm. And I believe this is something everybody in the audience is going to remember.
Yes.
See, when you first said beanery, I was thinking about, what's that, Beano?
Yeah.
What's that? What is that for, Beano? What is that?
It's for gas. If you have gas.
If you have gas.
If you're a farter.
A farter. Yeah, is it a flatulator? But anyway, so there you are. And you said it's beanery, which the definition of beanery isn't it a cheap restaurant?
Yeah, a cheap restaurant. It's English.
So that's the new term. Like if you eat at Burger King, you just ate at a beanery. Mm-hmm. Hardee's, Wendy's, Denny's.
I don't know if fast food restaurants like that would be considered a beanery.
That's not a beanery?
I don't know. I mean, I would
You thinking maybe like a Bob Evans or a Denny's?
No, I was thinking more like a
diner?
Yeah, like just... You got it's English, so it's probably like a little pub, like a fish and chip place or something.
A little beanery.
A little beanery.
Yeah, just a couple bucks at the beanery. Wasn't like a 5-star. We had a fish and chips at the beanery. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, it's funny. Again, I want to go back to this trucking thing, and so many stories have been just buried, and the things that are going on in trucking. You had all that stuff going on with the brokers. You have records amount of trucking companies going out of business. You have freight problems everywhere. And I hear they're picking up. I've seen the rates come up a few dollars, but it's all buried because of this crap on election year.
Right.
It goes all to the politic crap. And you see, we don't get political on this show, but I will say that politicians from every angle want your attention. That's exactly, and they are putting themselves in front of you with a storm. Tell everybody what I did 2 weeks ago with the news. What did I do with the news? The regular news.
He turned it off. He won't.
I haven't looked at any news articles or nothing in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. You know what? I feel good.
I do. I mean, I never really watch, I'll pull up news articles here and there. I'll see what comes in on my threads, but I'm not a person that likes to watch or pay attention to a lot of the news, not because I don't want to know what's going on, but I know half of it's just a bunch of baloney and it's what the media wants to tell me. So I like to try and avoid it.
Yeah. I am so sick and tired of the sky is falling. Oh my God, you're going to die from something. Oh my God, it's a danger zone. Oh my God, this country's doing this. Oh my God, someone's trying to steal from you. You got to put your trust in us because of this. Oh my God, fear, people, fear. We are raining fear on you. I'm serious. I'm sick and tired of it. Let's put the fear in them. Ricky Ticky Taffy. Remember that? That's a good imitation. Do you remember the Cobra when she went, Ricky Ticky Taffy?
Yeah, I kind of, I do know that show. Not a whole lot, but I do know it.
The younger generations are like, Ricky who?
Yeah.
Ricky Ticky? Did he just say Ricky Ticky? That was the coolest mongoose show I've ever seen in my life. What's funny? You know what's funny? When you think about that Ricky Ticky Taffy thing? You can go on YouTube and see actual mongooses fighting real cobras, and the mongoose wins and eats the damn thing. I mean, it's like, wow, that thing is actually real. But anyways, going back to trucking. Hey, you know what? Speaking of trucking, I think the mongoose would be a good handle.
I wonder if anybody has that handle.
There you go. And look, being that I'm not driving right now, anybody wants to take the mongoose, take it. There it is, the mongoose. But Ruth Ann, it was funny because I was thinking about CB handles, and this kid wrote in, he's 21, right? And he's like, he writes in, he says, hey, I appreciate the podcast and listen to you guys all the time. In fact, pull up. It's on TuxEDL. Here, I'll try to pull it up on my thingy thing. We've got so many social media pages and oh man, this mixer is just nuts today. Look at that. My mixer is like, you know what it is? I wonder if it's his mic. This is not my normal mic, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to pull it up. I want to read you. This kid writes in, and he has the coolest CB handle. This is why I like this kid. I'm going to tell you what his name is.
Forget about anything else. Sorry, kid. He only likes your handle. That's what you made it sound like.
Well, I mean, I don't really know him, so, I mean, I can't like him like that, but I like him because he likes us. I like him. Wait. Hold on a second. He says, what's his name? I got to find the kid. We got a million messages, and, he actually has a cool name, too. His name is Leaf. Yeah, like Leaf Garrett. His name is Leaf Butler. And he writes in, and he says, just wanted to say, love the podcast. He says, it helps me in the miles. It makes the miles go faster, and it makes me feel like I am in the conversation. I appreciate what you guys do. He goes on to say, I'm 21 years old, and I pull flatbed. I run 48 states in Canada. Awesome, man. It's like a kid after my own heart. He runs for Melton Truck Lines. And he says, I'm a second-generation trucker. My father has been driving 38 years and still driving today. Then he says this. He says, my CB handle is, are you ready for this? Wagon Master. Wagon Master. I mean, that is like so like Western. I could just picture this kid with like cowboy boots on. He's the Wagon Master. Leaf the Wagon Master. He says, my CB handle is Wagon Master, and it was passed down to me from my father. So his dad's still driving, and he's not the Wagon Master anymore. I wonder if he's like the Bob Taylor, or maybe he's the jockey truck. What did Dad take?
I don't know.
I'm giving you Wagon Master. Anyways, Leaf, if you're listening, wow, I'm telling you, this mic is going in the garbage. Leaf, if you're listening, thank you for that kind message. We get messages all day long. I mean, a lot, all day long. But that was like a really cool one and we read every one, by the way. Super cool handle. You know what I'd like people to do? Send us your CB handles. I want to know, for all you that are still running down the road with a CB, what's your handle? Do you got something cooler than the Wagon Master? Ruth Ann, what was yours?
You'd given me a couple of them, but mine was Thunder.
And I was
Lightning.
Duh. Thunder and Lightning when we were going down the road. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was pretty not original.
Well, I think it was because usually you've seen you but heard me. Something like that.
I mean, I've heard some pretty good CB handles. But I got to be honest with you, Wagon Master, I think that's pretty cool because it reminds you of the old Stagecoach, the original truckers.
Right.
You know, I'm talking original truckers. These guys were like metal wheels with a horse pulling you along and somebody riding shotgun. We talked about that last podcast about somebody riding shotgun. But somebody had to be the trucker. Somebody had to be that original trucker whipping those mules or horses. Talk about real horsepower. Right? And running across country. Pretty cool. So Leaf. Why did I say Neil?
I have no idea.
I call him Neil.
You're weird.
What? Anyways, you got anything else?
I honestly, the sad thing about the news right now is all of it's pertaining to
The sky's falling.
a bunch of junk. I mean, it's overseeing, like there's nothing.
Fear us.
Well, it's okay. We already know how important our industry is. And we already know that some of the freight's starting to pick up again. But everything's circling around the drivers that, are going through with the riot, like the ones that were ran into the crowds and so forth. And the ones that are like, there's nothing that's just good, interesting discussions. Like when you sit and have a conversation, like, certain people, it's always the negative nannies or certain things like that. That's where it's like right now, trying to have a discussion on today, day and time with how the industry is. You can't have anything that's really good because it's always the same thing. It's like during hurricane season.
Your mother.
I know. Mother. I was going to say that.
Your mother is how old is your mom? Tell everybody.
She's going to be 80 in September.
And we got her a cell phone and a computer, and she now lives on freaking Facebook. And she runs to us every time there's a story about a riot or something on Facebook, and she believes everyone.
What's really bad is
I'm like, please don't tell me any more news.
Those things.
Stop it.
Like the memes that will have like a picture of someone holding a banner.
Your mom believes it.
Yeah. But you know that the banner was photoshopped and it's like they change out the words.
Yeah, there could be a banner, like you're saying, of they finally caught 5 Martians. And your mom will come running in and be like, oh my gosh, look what they caught.
My mom's really bad.
It's on Facebook. It has to be true.
She's bad.
Well, it's disgusting, and I'm going to tell you something. Social media has got so many people so divided. Before we, and I'm just going to say this, before social media, families and even Democrats and Republicans could be friends in the world. Why? Because there was a rule. It was called never discuss religion or politics, or you lose your friends.
Right.
But now you got people that are friends, literally like family and friends, and they defriend each other because why? Because you don't agree with me.
Right.
You don't agree with me. Just like the Gulliver. Remember Gulliver? Gulliver's Travels? Those people over there, they crack their egg on the fat side. Oh my gosh. They should be doing it on the narrow side. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. I like cherry. He likes blueberry. Oh my God, kill him. Shoot the blueberry guy. I'm sick and tired. If you disagree, keep it to yourself. I'm serious.
All right, well, here's
Peterbilt.
Kenworth.
I will kill you. You better like Peterbilt, woman.
So, CDL Life posted an article.
Good people.
Yes. Back in the beginning of June 8th. They posted an article, and it says, violence is making highways more dangerous for truckers. These concealed carry bills could help.
Right.
So what they're saying is that because of all the new, all the threats that are against truck drivers right now in the industry, especially after recent, the last few weeks, that there's these bills that are trying to go through for truck drivers to be able to carry it. Because it says, even though there's no federal law forbidding truckers to carry guns, many companies are the ones that have the policy against them. So it makes it more confusing for city, county, and state regulations to make concealed weapons legal for truck drivers. So what they're trying to do is come up with a bill for these truck drivers to where, I don't want to say that companies can't have their say, but to where a driver can defend themselves better. So last year, legislation introduced a bill that could cut through some of the confusion and make it easier for truckers to protect themselves by introducing national concealed carry I can't pronounce it. Reciprocity. Reciprocity.
Okay.
So right now, what it is it's the codes are HR 38 and S 69 were introduced to the House and the state back in January of 19. It's still remaining pending, but both bills contain similar language regarding the establishment of the national concealed carry. So the bill allows a qualified individual to carry a concealed handgun into or possess a concealed handgun in another state that allows individuals to carry concealed firearms, which is kind of what it is right now. A qualified individual must be eligible to possess, transport, or receive a firearm. Couldn't get it out. Under federal law. Just basically, it's the same thing that you would have for regular concealed carry. But the bill was specified that a qualified individual who lawfully carries or possesses a concealed handgun in another state is not subject to federal prohibition. I can't even get it out.
I know. It's actually so like you. Now listen, I just solved the entire carry permit thing in my head. In my own mind, I got it solved. And I need DOT and the feds to get involved. So listen up, guys out there. Make it an endorsement. Oh my God, yeah, I said that. An endorsement. So what endorsements you got on there? Well, I got hazmat, doubles, triples, and I got carry. I've got concealed carry. I'm not even joking.
No, it's a good one.
Why not let the DOT, if you have a Class A CDL and a Class B CDL and you go across state line, why not make for Class A truck drivers it to be a endorsement? What's wrong with it? Then you know what? If you have that endorsement, then I think even your employers. And I know some of you trucking companies, you're probably not going to like this, but I don't really care. Because I'm going to tell you a little secret. Let DOT get involved and say, hey, he has the endorsement. Now the trucking companies, they shouldn't be able to say, we don't allow that.
Well, what I don't understand...
I believe that. That's my theory.
Okay, if a trucking company feels though the handgun is a deadly weapon, what do they consider their tractor? Because that's a deadly weapon also.
Absolutely.
A driver can plow down a bunch of cars or people walking or anything like that just as easy as they can pull out their handgun and fire in a crowd.
So what you're saying is, correct me if I'm wrong, what you're saying is, if you can trust your employee, the trucker, to take 80,000 pounds in your $160,000 truck and your $50,000 trailer and haul the $1 million worth of freight and be responsible to do it responsibly, you should have absolutely no problem that same guy that's responsible with the giant rocket
that you've already done a background check on,
that you've already done background checks on, he can responsibly carry a gun, especially if the state or the governor, the government is also deeming him safe to carry a gun. Because I can't stand when a trucking company says, well, it's against company policy. Okay, so you're saying you don't want your trucker to be protected. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you something, 90% of them say, no, we don't allow it. I know the ones that don't, a lot of them that don't allow it will say it's kind of like a don't ask, don't tell. Mm-hmm. You know, we're not going to search your truck. We don't want to know about it, but everybody in the office carries. I know companies in Minnesota that have told me this. Mm-hmm. But to be honest with you, I think they're afraid of the liability. We allowed him to have a gun. It doesn't matter whether you allowed him or not. If the government says a trucker is legal and he's not a criminal and he can carry a gun to protect himself, we trust him. Who the hell are you to say he can't?
Right.
I think that's such bullshit.
No, I think
Sorry,
a lot of
trucking company.
I think you'd have less incidents too if you had the driver being able to protect your freight a little bit better. If you think about it, how many people are going to go and want to attack a truck or get on a tractor when they already know that person is armed? How many those armored trucks where you know that the people are cops? How many of certain people are attacked when they already know they can pull their gun out and protect themselves?
I will say this, just like I say about the police and anybody that's carrying a weapon, I believe there should be proper training for everybody. I don't care who you are. If you have a deadly weapon and you carry it, there should be proper training. You know, today's training, let's, for example, with the police, and again, I'm not against police, but today's training, police are trained to do what? Where do they shoot? They shoot right at the chest, the biggest area in the body. That's why 95% of people that get shot by the cops probably die, because cops practice, and at that one moment, they pull out and they aim for the biggest part of the body, and boom, that's where your heart's at. A lot of these guys are killed, okay? Well, what about a guy that honestly is not a deadly threat, but he needs to be taken down? He needs to be shot. Okay? Somebody's got to train these guys to shoot the guy in the leg, shoot him in the knee, wound him, put him down, you know, incapacitate the guy. There's got to be better training. And there's also got to be better training to not pull out your gun. Citizens, especially. And you know what's funny? You don't see it every day where a citizen pulled out his gun, because more citizens are more afraid to pull out their gun because they want to be sure.
Right.
You know, when we got our carry permit, they said, listen, if you pull that gun out, you better shoot. Do not pull out to scare somebody. No. Do not pull it out to warn somebody. No, don't drive down the road when someone cuts you off and just show them the gun, because you're 5 miles down the road. He's now calling the police on you, and you're the one going to prison today. So as anybody that does have a carry permit, that is 38 states recognize that carry permit to begin with. So you are allowed to carry. Technically, I'm telling you that right now. We had we had Troop, what's his name?
Sensei.
Trooper Hoover, the Indiana DOT, the state police, on here, and he said outright, he says people tell him all the time, truckers, yeah, I got a gun in the truck. He's no problem. I'm not after your gun. Blah blah blah. You know, these guys have the right to carry, but the bottom line is, I believe they need to be trained better on when to pull that gun out, and be put through situations to where, you know, I mean, people are more safe. That's all. I'm just going to say that out there, because it is a dangerous thought, and I could see where trucking companies are saying, well, it becomes a liability. All I need is some trigger-happy nutbag driving my truck.
If a driver's already a trigger-happy nutbag, as you're claiming them, if they already got those attitudes, whether or not you allow them to bring their gun, they're going to have the gun on there. Those drivers that, the ones that go, quote, postal,
the bad ones aren't going to tell you they have the gun anyways.
And they're not going to abide by your rules to begin with.
Right. The good ones will.
Yeah. So the ones that are already going to go a little nutty.
And if they're trigger happy or any kind of craziness in them, you're going to see it in their criminal background.
Most of the time there is something that shows it off.
Right.
Yeah. Whether it's some, but here's the thing. If you give some form of I don't want to say a psych eval, but if you give something to show, you know, you can go to the extreme of giving a little bit of a little evaluation when they're doing their physicals. You know, yeah, the guy's pretty mentally competent, you know. Well, he's knows right from wrong.
I don't think that trucking companies are going to be giving psych evals, but no. I do believe that, going along with what we were talking about before, if you make the carry permit for a trucker now an endorsement, I've been endorsed to carry my gun, that right there, he should be put through whatever test, because every endorsement you take, you have to study and you have to take a test, a physical test to pass it. And I believe that should also be included. Come up with the proper test to you know, not only the criminal background, but, you know, a test with what you should be doing, where, and blah, 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 and make an endorsement. And once he passes that endorsement, nobody should be able to tell him he can't have the gun, because he got the endorsement to do it. That's all I'm saying. Hey. Let's get out of here. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Peace.
Peace. Praise the Lord.